Alright everybody, what's going on? It's me, Armani, back with another video. If you guys clicked on this video, you already know we're installing a Burger Motorsports jb4 on my brother's m340. So the reason you'd be installing this is it's a little bit cheaper than a tune, I believe, like an actual flash. Or if you have a 2021 or 2020 and up, I believe the ECUs on these are locked, so you can't do a custom tune. So we're going to go ahead and install this jb4 box. And it's basically going to get you about the same horsepower. I know you can get custom tunes loaded onto these, so that's another thing you can do as well. We're going to go ahead and get this thing installed. It's a pretty simple install. I believe you can see about 40 to 50 wheel horsepower gains on 93, and you can see a max boost output of like 22 psi on an E blend, which I believe is E30. We're going to go ahead and install this. It's a pretty simple install. We just got to pop this cover off and disconnect the battery and plug in a few plugs, and it's ready to go.
Alright, first thing you want to do is go ahead and come here to the hood latch. You're going to pull this thing twice, so 1, 2, and it's open. Alright, so now that we're in the trunk, you just go ahead and lift this cover up. There's a 10mm on the battery terminal, and you're going to just loosen that and pull it off. And then just one key tip: once you've disconnected the battery, make sure you don't shut the trunk, just leave it open, so that way you don't have to crawl through and pull that emergency release. Alright, next you're going to go ahead and just pop this engine cover off, which you just pick up on it. It's got some grommets, and just like that, that's all. Alright, now would be the perfect time to take this jb4 apart. You just got those 4 bolts on the back, and this is only if you're using the JB Connect, so you basically just pull this cap off. It's 2 pieces, then attach this wire on the inside, and that's how you get your Bluetooth reading. But I forgot to record that process, a little too excited. But we're going to go ahead and drop this down here in this hole over here. And we're going to just kind of run these wires through that hole right over there. You just kind of pull back on this and feed it through. I'm going to use 2 hands, and then I'll kind of show you guys how I route the wires and where they connect to. Okay, so we got the jb4 wire ran. We still have the box just temporarily sitting there. But the way I have it ran is I ran the wire up. I'm still going to tuck all this a little bit better. Then through this little grommet right here, you just pick up on this, and then there's kind of some pins that are holding it into the top of the strut. Then around this bend, so that way the plastic cover over there will still close. Then you're going to just run it out with the wire and between these 2 loomed harnesses. That way that harness will still close again. And you know, because I'm all about... Okay, so I got this cover back on. The first wires we're going to connect here is this brown wire right here to our map sensor. We're going to go ahead and disconnect that one, and then our teed map sensor, which is right here. And you know, this is a piggyback, so this end is going to go into where it used to go, and then the OEM end is going to go into this end. Alright,
and so if you're wondering how to actually plug these or unplug these and plug these in, it's pretty simple. You're just going to get like a little flathead and just kind of wedge it in between this and pop it out. Sometimes you can do it with your nail, just like that. And then you're just going to push this down and pull this sensor out. And then once it's pulled out, you're going to plug it in to this end of the piggyback. As you can see, that's the OEM side, that's the stock side, and then this is the piggyback side. You just plug it in, you know, push it down, then you plug this end in, and then once you have everything plugged in, you just lock this clip by pushing it in, and you should verify that by this not only being flush, but that clicking sound.
Alright, so we got this map sensor hooked up here. There's the piggyback end just kind of running down, the side going into the sensor, the T-bar sensor right here. We got that hooked up as well. Same thing, you got the piggyback end on this side, and then the actual sensor over here. Now, this other wire right here that's coming down to the EWG, we are gonna go ahead and hook this up. This one is, you have to pull the heat shield forward on this, actually, not back, because the sensor kind of runs through this heat shield and plugs in this way. So you just kind of pull it forward, it'll expose it. And once it's exposed, you just disconnect it, and then you got to fish this end through right here and just hook it up. And I'll show you guys how I did that once I'm done. Alright, so we got the blue wire hooked up. We got the piggyback end right there zip tied to itself just to keep it away from the heat. And then we got the heat insulation. You just kind of pull that towards the front of the car. So this would be the back of the car, that would be the front of the car. You pull it up forward, and then you just disconnect that wire, run the piggyback end through, and then just plug it up, and then the OEM end right there, just plugs into the other piggyback end. So now we're gonna put the engine cover on because we have this wire and that wire hooked up. So you really only have 3 wires going to the engine. Now we're gonna just find a hole in this firewall somewhere to run the OBD2 wire down to the OBD2. All right, so there's a little tin foil right there that you pop out. Just kind of pressed it in, ripped it out. Got a little grommet. After sorting through about 1,000 pounds of just connectors and clips, found one that fit. Cut a little section out of it, and then just kind of hit it with some silicone so that way we don't get any water in the car, which, you know, there shouldn't be any water in the car. We're gonna go ahead and throw this plastic piece back on, and I'm gonna show you how to flash the car. All right, with all that finished up, I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the car over here. So now that we're in the car, the battery is connected. That's a pretty important step. You're gonna wanna make sure to put the car in the diagnostic mode. And how we do that is just don't put your foot on the brake and hit the start button 3 times. And it's gonna basically just turn ignition accessory on. And now that that's on, we're gonna come to the jb4 app. And you just gotta download this and make an account. I believe it's like 25 bucks on the App Store. You're gonna hit connect, and it should connect pretty quick. Okay, now that it's connected, to change maps, you're just gonna double tap this right here, and it's gonna pull up all your maps. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little quick screenshot on the screen, what all the maps do from the jb4 website. You make sure, just do your own research on what you can do with a catted downpipe. There's some people that say you can run map 3 if you're catless with 93 octane. You just got to data log it. But to keep it safe, we're just running it on map 2. Once this tank runs out, we're going to go ahead and find some nice E-stations near us. Run the car on map 5 or map 4 and go ahead and record that for you guys. Alright guys, that's going to wrap today's videos up. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to stay tuned. The next video should come out pretty soon. We're going to go ahead and take this thing for a drive on the streets and get a reaction, see how much faster it is. And yeah, stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Popping pills, fuck the thrill. I don't got time to kill. Tell me 6 and I don't spill. I got it in my veins.